This is Wide Angle with Ashok Vyas.
அருணாச்சலத்திலுரு கருணாகர பரமலருணாரவிந்த பதமே.
Who was perhaps the greatest sage of the 20th century.
Today's Wide Angle is specially dedicated to the life and teaching of Bhagwan Ramana Maharshi.
அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சலா அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சலா.
நுண்ணுரு உனையான் விண்ணுரு நன்னிட வெண்ணலை இருமென்றருணாச்சல நூலறிவறியா பேதையன் என்றன் மாலறிவருத்தருள் அருணாச்சலா. கருணாகரமுனி ரமணாரியனுவகையினார் சொல்லியது கதியாக அருணாச்சலமென அகமே அறிவோடும் ஆழ்வார் சிவனுலகாழ்வாரே.
When you have seen someone in the physical form, and there comes a point when people start recognizing that this is a manifestation of the divinity, and in his case also later on people recognize, or during the time when you were with him, was he addressed as Bhagwan?
Yes, with great respect he used to advise, say, Bhagwan, you please excuse us if I do anything fault, you will laugh at us. And he is very particular about my taking food. Whether you have taken food morning, afternoon, night, he will ask always and ask us to give food to everybody who comes there. And he was so kind to me, I can never forget in my life. And when he was having cancer, I was praying, God, you please give me the disease to me so that people can still keep on seeing Bhagavan. But he was laughing and telling everybody, see, these people, they want to take me this great cauliflower, cancer I am having. So I was there and he was laughing, and he was, even 1 week before I saw him, he was laughing and giving darshan. And I can never forget in my life all he has given. I keep on praying. Om Sri Ramana Bhagavane Namah Shivaya.
ஏமாற்றி ஓடாதுளத்தின் மேல் உறுதியாயிருப்பாய் அருணாச்சல ஊர் சுற்றுளம் விடாதுனை கண்டடங்கிட உன்னழகை காட்டருணாச்சல என்னை அழித்திப் போதென்னை கலவாவிடில் இதுவோ ஆண்மை அருணாச்சல ஏனிந்த உறக்கம் என்னை பிறர் இழுக்க இது உனக்கழகோ அருணாச்சல ஐம்புலக்கள்வர் அகத்தினில் புகும்போதகத்தினி இல்லையோ அருணாச்சல ஒருவனமுன்னை ஒளித்தவர் வருவார் உன் சூதே இது அருணாச்சல ஓம்கார பொருள் புயர்வில்லோய் உனையாரறிவார் அருணாச்சல.
It has been 50 years since the Mahanirvana of Bhagwan Sri Ramana Maharshi. I had the rare good fortune of being present on the night of April 14th, 1950, when a brilliant star slowly sailed across the sky at the very moment the Maharshi took his last mortal breath. Even more than this, my destiny has been uniquely connected to the Maharshi from my birth. My father, Nagasundaram Iyer, was the younger brother of Sri Bhagwan. Not long after I was born, my mother passed away. And when I was 3 years old, my father took sannyas and joined Sri Bhagwan and their mother Alagamma at Skandashramam. I was then lovingly raised by Bhagwan's sister Alamelu and her husband Sri Pichu Iyer. Since they had no children of their own, and none of my father's brothers had any issues, I became the only remaining descendant in my family's line. As a child, I was brought to Tiruvannamalai 2 or 3 times each year to see Bhagwan, my father and grandmother Alagamma, when she was still living. Sometimes I was left in the care of Bhagwan and stayed overnight in the ashram. Like a mother, he would put me to sleep at night and then wake and wash me in the morning. My life flowed on smoothly. I was married in 1929. All my 7 children were brought to Bhagwan soon after their birth, and he was pleased to bless them by giving them their names. With Sri Bhagwan's consent and blessings, I was requested in 1938 to move to Tiruvannamalai and assist my father, Sri Niranjanananda Swami, in managing the ashram. After my father was absorbed in Sri Bhagwan in 1953, I succeeded him as the ashram manager and president. In all humility, I can say that Bhagwan has showered on me incredible grace and blessings from my birth to this very day. In 1984, my wife Nagalakshmi attained the holy feet of Sri Bhagwan. I continued serving in the ashram until 1994, at which time I resigned, handed over the presidentship of the ashram to my eldest son, Sri V.S. Ramanan, and took the vows of sannyas. I now live a quiet life in the ashram, remembering the holy presence of the Master and thanking him for his innumerable blessings on me and all his devotees the world over. After the Maharshi's Mahanirvana, we published many reminiscences about Bhagwan, written by devotees who moved closely with him. These books are a valuable testimony to the ever-present divine personality of the Master. What you are now about to see is yet another testimony to the living presence of Sri Ramana Maharshi. You will hear from the lips of those who had the wonderful privilege of living under the watchful, loving eye of Sri Maharshi, who was perhaps the greatest sage of the 20th century. I have known these devotees since I came here in 1938. We were like one family.
And everybody here says I first. I saw this, I saw that. So where does that I come from? What is the source of that I? We go to sleep, that I takes a sleep body, has dream experiences, thinks that's real while in the dream, but then wakes up and has a waking experience and negates that dream as being unreal. But the I is there. One goes in deep sleep. The I is there. We wake up and say, I had deep, good sleep. So the answer is only everyone has to find it within themselves. You know, whatever is going to happen from outside, we have to ultimately go within and find out who we are, or the source of the I.
Unake namaskaram, unmai param porule Ramana, manakan vilakidum mahakanmaniye, unake namaskaram.
Everyone has experiences of peace. That's why when they go to Ramana ashram, that peace is very powerful. So they're attracted there. Without peace, there's no happiness. So everyone has to have some sort of peace. That's why they long for deep sleep, where the mind and thought is not there. Then they can come back and go into activity. They long for that peace. Peace is our nature. We are peace. So we disturb it with our thoughts. So the thing is to still the mind, still the thoughts, and just experience the peace that we are. That's what Ramana Maharshi has always told us to do. That's the purpose of life.
உன்னையே மாற்றி ஓடாதுளத்தின் மேல் உறுதியாயிருப்பாய் அருணாச்சலா ஊர் சுற்றுளம் விடாதுனை கண்டடங்கிட உன்னழகை காட்டருணாச்சலா.
This is Wide Angle with Ashok Vyas. Any prayer that you heard during the days when you were with him, and which has been your companion, which you either sing some hymn or any bhajan, so please share that with us.
Whenever we start anything, we always say, Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Ramanaya. So he used to give us his laugh, and I see his laughing face all the time. Even in America, in Nova Scotia, in New York, they are in Ramanashramam now, but he is everywhere. He was telling us before he left this world that I am always with you all, so don't worry. So that fear is not there. He is not here personally, but I talked to him in my dream also. He was so kind and so good, and I wish I have the same, and I wish he gives everybody in this world all the love and the blessings. Namaskar.
எல்லா பொழுதிலும் எல்லா இடத்திலும் எல்லாமாய் என்னுள் இருப்பவனே, உல்லாசமாய் உலாவும் ரமணா, உனக்கே உனக்கே நமஸ்காரம்.
அதுவே தலம் அருணாச்சலம் தலம் யாவிலும் அதிகம் அது பூமியின் இதயம் மறி அதுவே சிவன் இதய பதியாம் ஒரு மருமத்தலம் பதியாம் அவன் அதிலே வதிவான் ஒளி மலையானிதம் அருணாச்சலம் எனவே.
You have yourself experienced certain occasions as a part of your work, which of course involves a system, involves people with different temperament, and there were experiences of being at the receiving end of someone's anger or unreasonable behavior. So how did you manage to not let that affect your harmony? In that process, how being close to Bhagavan's teaching helped?
Okay, that's a good question. The natural reaction when somebody speaks to us in a disrespectful or insulting way is an hurtful one. That's a natural retaliatory defensive mentality takes over. But then if you're following Bhagavan Sri Ramana Maharishi, what you say is, ho, 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 who am I? Am I this body? Did I know this whole situation when I was fast asleep? In a few hours when I go into fast sleep, I'll be there peaceful, alone. I wouldn't know any of this thing that troubles me now when I'm asleep. So once you start this inquiry, what happens is you set up a counter current, and which we like to call the spiritual current, and slowly the effects of Prakriti, which are, the retaliatory anger and all, slowly they subside, and we find the peace that was always ours.
So you found the peace that is always ours, and this coincides with the response of Dennis. He said that by being under, if I use the word umbrella of Bhagavan or his teachings, you realize that peace is your true home. And I think you have realized it, and all of us somewhere in some way need to realize that tranquility, peace, being in equilibrium with ourselves is essential.
நான் பார்க்கும் பொழுதெல்லாம் என்னுள் இருந்தவை பார்ப்பதோடென்னையும் பார்ப்பவனே ஓயும்படிக்கு என்னை உண்ணும் ரமணா உனக்கே உனக்கே நமஸ்காரம்.
At a very young age, when I was around 18 years old, Bhagavan appeared to me in a dream. In the dream, I saw this hill and Bhagavan walking towards me. I could even see a Shivalinga in the dream. Before this, Krishna used to appear in my dreams frequently. But here was a person I had never seen before. I was captivated by him. Our family deity was Vishnu, and we used to offer puja to Vishnu and Krishna. However, seeing a Shivalinga in the dream puzzled me. At that age, I could not comprehend the dream. Right from then onwards, my mind changed. Having been a coward since childhood, I would not even walk to the veranda of my house at night. But after having obtained the darshan of Bhagavan in my dream, the fear that had gripped me left me. It was only at the age of 20 that I got a book on Bhagavan. It was the Ramana Vijayam, written by Sudhananda Bharati. At the mere touch of the book, I lost body consciousness. My whole body became numb, and it was with great difficulty that I managed to come back and sit next to my friend.
Well, he was going up the mountain, and he was taking him to the top of the mountain, I believe. And Bhagavan was walking casually, and the person said, "I can't go on, my feet are burning." This was something unusual. Bhagavan told him, "Repeat the Surya mantra, and you'll have no burning in your feet." So he started repeating, and as he was repeating it, he had no burning in his feet. Even afterwards, if you met him in Bombay, he would walk on the bare pavement in Bombay, and it was hot. And we saw him, he asked him, why you can talk like that, why you can walk like that without any shoes on. He said, "I have no burning in my feet." And they asked him, "Why is that?" "Because this is what happened to me." Since then, but that's very incidental. That's not what Bhagavan wanted us to do. He wanted us to go beyond the body and mind, to realize our essential nature, and to find out who we are. Only then all the problems are solved. Only then we can have real peace and happiness, eternal. Not just some satisfaction of a desire, but eternal happiness and peace, because that's our home. That's why many people, like a couple who are here today, they went to Ramanashramam for the first time last month, and they wrote to me, they said, "Can anyone say that there's any other place in the world that is their home after coming here to Ramanashramam?" Why? because they felt so much peace. Peace is our natural state. That's our home. So that's what Ramana Maharshi taught, and that was how he demonstrated in his life. And that's what he wants us all to experience.
கெஞ்சியும் வஞ்சியாய் கொஞ்சமும் இறங்கிலை அஞ்சல் என்றேயருள் அருணாச்சலா கேளாதளிக்கும் முன் கேடில் புகழை கேடு செய்யாதருள் அருணாச்சலா கையினிற்கனியுன் மீரசங்கொண்டு வகை வெறி கொளவருள் அருணாச்சல கொடியிட்டடியறை கொல்லுனை கட்டி கொண்டெங்கன் வாழ்வேன் அருணாச்சலா கோபமில் குணத்தோய் குறியாயனை கொளக்குறையன் செய்தேன் அருணாச்சல கௌதமர் போற்றும் கருணை மாமலையே கடை கணித்தாழ்வாய் அருணாச்சலா.
Share with us some more memories during those 10 years when you were face to face with him, and the first meeting that you mentioned, did you ask anything, and was he very talkative or very less talkative in general?
Yeah. Because I could not open I had lot of questions in me to ask Bhagavan. First time I met, but when I saw Bhagavan, I could not open my mouth and ask, and he was answering all my questions, laughing at me and answering all my questions to others. Like Devaraja Madhyar was there, so he was a great lawyer. So he used to clear all my doubts through telling the answers to others without asking me what questions I have got in my mind.
And you saw him in person. Share with us something about the kind of voice that he had.
Yeah. He had a beautiful voice, and he will always talk very politely to not only to men, human beings, but also to all the animals, all kinds of animals. He like speaking to a great man like, sir, please excuse me, like that. He was so great. I never thought I'll have such an opportunity to see him, take his blessings, and live now. I'm asking him to take me away, but he's asked me to see good people here and do things. And I always keep on praying his name. During any time I get spare time, I don't waste my life now. I am very glad I have got a great opportunity to see Bhagavan and get his blessings.
And the question as to who you are is most significant one, and this helps you in arriving at the basic of your existence in a way that you can stay unruffled and you can cross over all the apparent obstacles or troubles by being clear about your true self. That is in one way what we learn from the life of Bhagavan, who used to look, laugh, smile, and through his compassionate gaze people derive strength and solace even till today. Thank you for being with us. This is Ashok Vyas saying goodbye from today's Wide Angle with Ashok Vyas. This is Wide Angle with Ashok Vyas.